Welcome to Santino's World, and today we have the UFC's newest signee, winner, bantamweight, flyweight.
You.
Well, you're a bantamweight still. Tracy Cortez. Thank you for coming on.
Yes. What up, Coach?
Lots up. How's it feel being the newest UFC girl, winning in Brazil? You know, they were booing you. They were actually yelling at the fight, kill her.
Yeah.
Until you said, I love you, Brazil.
And then everybody, woo!
And then they loved you.
Yeah.
Walk us through it. Tell us about, so first of all, this is your first UFC fight.
Yeah.
It was up a weight class in Brazil. Like, how does that feel? How does it feel now that you have done some things? Now you're a UFC fighter. You won.
No, it was good. I didn't make that choice myself. Obviously, with the help of my coach Santino, Tino's World, and like my managers and looking at the opponent. They were so like if my coach is confident, I'm gonna go in there confident. So I went in there confident. I'm happy though.
And
like
then,
I talk about it and I'm like,
well, what happened? Because you've been trying. First of all, you've been offered a couple UFC contracts. They were short notice.
No one knows.
Yeah, nobody even knows about that.
To this day, I don't think anyone knows. Aside from me and you.
There were short notice contracts. One of them was on like 6 days notice. The other one, and then, but now, you've been working. You've been a pro for almost 3 years now, and this is it. And now you're there. And now, what does that do for you? Are you still working a regular job? Like, do you go back to normal life? Has anything changed? I'm still trying to figure it out. We got back last week on a Tuesday, and I was telling the Joanne here that I slept a whole day. I woke up the next morning at 8 a.m. So I'm still trying to figure things out, like just get my life situated. But no, I do have some sponsors that help me out, where I'm able to train full time now. Okay. So I do have those sponsors. And going to the fight, you were talking about, like, tell us about the actual fight. Beforehand, you were telling us you were scared shitless in the back. Like how? Yeah, I was. Was it different than for people that don't know, the Contender Series itself is weird. So you fought, people fight all the time. You go into a show, there's people there, there's a crowd, there's announcers, there's fights that you see on TV. Contender Series is not like that at all. No. Like, tell us about the Contender Series first, like how that is.
So everyone was like, oh, the Contender Series, you're used to it now. You've been in the cage or in the octagon, whatever. And it's nothing like a fight. The Contender Series is just weird. It was so quiet. There was no music. There's no introduction. There's no
ring announcer. There's nothing.
It's just the ref. You ready? Go. It's like oh my bad. It's just like another sparring session, but with your career.
More intense. Like an intense sparring session.
Yeah, and then you go in there and you're expecting to hear this crowd and the music, and it's nothing. It's just silence.
And you can hear the coaches cornering and talking and
the small crowd that is there, no one's cheering. Just because it's so, I don't know. Why is no one cheering?
We cheered, Tracy.
Yeah,
we cheered for you.
Like towards like the second or third round, but at first it was just so quiet.
I think maybe you were so focused that you probably didn't pick up on it. But I would say, because I was there that night when you fought, and I would probably say that you had the most people there for you. So when you walked out, you probably had the loudest applause.
And that was still like clap. Right. Clap. Like, it's just so quiet in there.
About 6 people who were cheering for you, which is almost like 6 times more than anybody else.
6 important people, okay? 6 important
But it's weird. And then you go from that to actually fighting, and Bruce Buffer announcing your name. Yeah. Michael Bisping, interviewing you beforehand. Yeah. Was it freaky, or was it just another day in the office?
It felt like I belonged there.
Okay.
Yeah, at first, so rewinding it back to warm up, I was shitting bricks. I was so nervous.
Which is weird because girls don't even shit. But anyways.
Yeah, we all know that doesn't happen.
Well, bricks,
that's science,
it's bricks. No, I was so nervous, and my palms were like sweaty, and anxious. I was like, I had this adrenaline in me, and I had to keep myself calm. And I told my coach, I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna sit down. After warm up, he said, no, get up. I was like, oh, excuse you?
Well, that's
like, no.
because you tried to quit the warm up early. And I didn't want that to happen. We had that happen. Anytime people, like, we do a standard warm up, it's 3-4 rounds, 3 minutes each. We go through the same stuff. We do it every day in training. Everything's fine. You can cruise through it. And then when people want to quit that early, that tells me that the adrenaline is getting to them and they're freaking out.
No, me was, okay, let me see if it's the adrenaline that has me like this or if it's the warm up. So I wanted to sit down and just compose myself. And Tino's like, get up.
Well, because it's the same warm up we do every day forever. So it's not the warm up, it's your nerves. And I'm like, no, we're finishing this warm up because we just had that happen to one of my fighters a couple months ago in Australia. And he didn't want to he wanted almost no warm up, didn't want to do anything. And I told him, I said, I told some of the other coaches, I said, his nerves got him. He's having an adrenaline dump. And sure enough, I think he did. And I was not about to let that shit happen with you again. Yeah. And we only had like
and
2
this
more.
is my first time doing the warm-ups with the UFC camera behind me and capturing everything. So Tino's more experienced. He knew what was going on, and me, I'm still trying to figure it out in my head. Okay, why am I feeling like this? Were
these the same warm-ups that you normally do before your fights? Were these the same warm-ups that you did before the contender
Not necessarily.
Series?
We do different things with different opponents. Like if I'm fighting a grappler, he'll have me defend a little bit more, but for the most part, yeah.
But you also had eyes on you because there was other fighters in the room. There's 3 or 4 other fighters with us in the room and just staring. Everyone staring at Tracy.
Yeah.
Were you the first fight?
I was the first.
You were the first fight.
Yeah.
So you almost had that feeling like you're putting on a performance even during the warm-ups. Everybody who's watching in the back.
Yeah. I'm like, man, you guys just look away.
I'm good.
But you performed. You won.
Yes.
Dominant fashion.
Up a weight class. But that girl is really, really tough. I don't think she's ever been finished your opponent. Yeah. You absolutely dominated that. And then 2 of the judges had it 30-27. One of the judges had it 29-28. Do you want to talk about the judges' scorecards?
Was it 29-28 me losing?
No, you winning.
No, 29-20. Oh, that's me winning. I don't want to talk about this fight. No.
So, Tracy, can you explain to everybody at home who's watching how the scoring system works?
Okay.
We're saying this. Tracy, after the fight, told me, she's like, they're announcing that it was unanimous decision. All 3 judges had Tracy winning.
Just a disclaimer. I'm just a fighter. I just want to fight and win. So anything else is not my job. It's coach's job.
So 2 of the judges had it 30-27. Another judge had it 29-28. 2 rounds to 1. And afterwards, Tracy asked me, she's like, what do the scorecards mean? She's like, I didn't know if I won or lost until they raised my hand because I don't understand the scoring. I was like, Tracy, you're in the UFC. You're now, are you 7-1, 8-1?
I don't know. I think 7.
See, that tells it right there. She doesn't know her record. She doesn't know the scoring. She's made it to the point where she's in the UFC and has no idea.
You know what's crazy? All I remember is that one loss. Oh, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
And her name. All my other opponents, I don't remember their names except for that one loss.
Really?
Yeah.
So you couldn't tell us probably any of your other opponents?
No.
Really?
I mean, if I think really hard, yeah, but for the most part, no.
What's your loss's name?
Sherry.
See, that's ingrained. So
I don't think that's that bad. I
just thinking about it, I'm like,
it gets your blood boiling. No, I understand. But I think you're focused so much on just the task at hand, your job, getting in there, getting the job done, and that's it. Everything else out of your control, it doesn't matter. You just focus on who you're fighting next.
Like I don't I don't focus on my opponent's name. I don't focus on what she does for a living. I'm just focused on her craft and my craft and what I can do to get the job done.
Now, I do want to ask you, speaking of your last opponent, you had an opponent change, right? Like, you were originally supposed to fight one opponent, and then that ended up falling through, which is why you ended up moving up to 35. Is that correct?
No. So I wanted to fight this year. Like, I wanted to get one fight in this year. I like to be active. Coach knows this. Coach knows that I want to get these fights in, And they were, my managers were telling me, hey, yeah, you're probably looking early next year. And I was like, no, I want to fight this year. And they said, well, I believe her name's Duda Santana.
Yeah.
Right? What happened? Her opponent, she was a replacement for another girl that girl fell out, and then they needed a replacement. And then they needed a replacement for Santana. And that's when they called me, hey, you want to fight, but it's at 135. And I got excited. I was like, oh, shit. Like, let me call. Oh, can I cuss?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Shit, damn.
Okay. I said, cost Tino.
Crap.
Yeah.
Even.
Crap.
Darn.
And Tino accepted the fight.
But now she has a crazy story. You were supposed to fight Duda up until, 2.5 weeks to your fight time?
Before the fight.
Tell us what happened to Duda.
Well, we saw...
wait. So we don't know the whole story. This is just the details that we know of it. So we don't want to, say too much.
I don't know too much of it, but what I do know is I met her coach from the American Top Team, right?
Yeah.
That was their coach.
Alex Davis.
Yeah. And he was telling me how the reason she couldn't go to Sao Paulo was because a family member was missing due to like drug trafficking and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Kidnapped.
He was kidnapped, and their
brother or a cousin? I forget what
family,
they said. Somebody
I don't
said,
know.
Yeah, they said a close family member. I forget what.
And it was I personally felt bad. I had no idea, but they were kind of holding her hostage where she wasn't able to leave her little village, her town.
She's in like the slums, kind of the favela area, and they took her family member. And I don't know if they were using her like for bait or hostage or something. They were somehow using her to try and get money or something out of something. But anyway, it comes down to...
It's just something that you hear on TV that you're just like, what?
Yeah, like something you hear out of a movie. Do you guys know what ended up happening to her?
No.
We don't know what happened.
Wow. Hopefully she's doing all right. So you ended up fighting at 135 against a new opponent. How was that for you? Because normally you fight at 125. So how was it fighting at 35? Was the weight cut not quite as intense? How did you feel?
This girl was strong. I don't care what anybody says. This girl, when I was on top and she grabbed a hold of my wrist, I was like, oh my God. Like I couldn't get her off of me. You know what I'm like? And then I tried to take her down and she was so heavy in the bottom. So I definitely felt the difference. Like
fighting at 135?
Yeah. I'm ready to go back down to flyweight.
For you physically though, not just your opponent, how did you feel? Did you feel stronger? Was the weight cut easier fighting at 35?
No, I didn't feel stronger. I feel like how I feel now, but at 125 I do feel strong against another 25.
Right.
25er.
If that makes sense.
So the weight cut always takes a couple years off my life with you. It's stressful. I don't think there's another weight cut that's that stressful. Henry Cejudo's is stressful only because it's a big orchestra.
Had 2 bad weight cuts.
Yeah, but your last 2 have taken a cumulative 10 years off my life. So, like, why don't you tell people like about a weight cut, and is it different than a man's weight cut?
Yes.
I hear they're the same.
Yeah.
I hear they're the same.
Just to answer that question.
No, it's not. Stop. Coach, let me tell you. For a woman to cut weight, it's so much more harder than a man. A man can cut 10 pounds, 11 pounds. I've heard Frankie cuts. He cut at one point 15 pounds, or Roman Gaito. A female can. I don't think a female is capable of doing that. I personally can't. I like to diet my weight down.
For the record, it was 16.5 pounds that you lost in water weight alone.
I did.
In
also
2 days.
For the record, it's Galito. Okay.
So you actually lost 16.5 pounds of just water weight. That doesn't include the diet on the way down.
That's just water.
And that was easy, right? It was super easy. It took like 20 minutes.
No, Coach. I know what you guys are doing. No, it was painful and it hurt. And
why do you think that is? From a woman to a man, why do you think that you don't lose weight, the water weight, the same as a man?
I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know. I don't want to say the guys are tougher or that. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. But I do know. But I have heard from nutritionists, like Charles from the PI specifically, is just a lot harder for a female to cut more weight in a day than it is for a guy.
Yeah, I see that.
Even in training, like when we train, Gabe is drenched in sweat, and then I probably have a couple, like wet spots on my collar or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you don't sweat the same. Women, like that I've seen, and not in a sexist way, just in a physiological way. It seems like women don't. They carry the weight differently. It's just not. They don't lose the weight at the same level. So we actually started cutting weight Wednesday night. Yeah. For a Friday weigh-in, and that was nuts. But besides
and that has to do with just bad, and it sucks to say, with just bad nutrition, bad guidance, bad. I think I waited too long
to get lower.
Thinking 135 is gonna be easy. I kind of bullshit, but no, I not that I didn't take it seriously, but I was just overly confident, like 135. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I always see, and I always tell people, when people go up a weight class, they're going to miss. And you didn't, which is fortunate, but almost always people go up a weight class and they think that, it's going to be easy, I'm going up a weight class. Yeah. And it ends up not being easy, and they end up missing the weight. And you see that regularly. I don't know why. We see that pretty frequently.
Yeah, I would imagine it's probably for the reason that she's talking about when she says, you think you're good. Like, normally, you're used to cutting an additional 10 pounds. Yeah. And now you don't have to worry about those, extra pounds. You're like, I'm fine. I can eat a little bit more than I normally would be able to.
And that's exactly what it was.
And all of a sudden, it catches up to you, and you realize, oh, shoot, I only have a week, and my weight is blank,
Yes.
Now, you're talking about weight cutting being different from a man to a woman, but you're a woman in a man's sport. Like, there are not. Even if you take all of the women fighters there are. I don't know what. There's probably only a couple percent, 5%. Of women fighter compared to men fighter. How is that being a woman?
The division is so small for women.
It's tiny.
Like, overall, bantamweight,
what do you
flyweight,
like?
strawweight.
How is that? Like, people see you on Instagram. They see you fighting. What they don't see is that you're in the gym with like 40 other men. Like, how is that being a woman in a man's sport?
And I think you've seen it where I'm very to myself in the gym. It does get uncomfortable because I like to have a certain kind of respect in the gym. I've worked hard for the guys to see me as an athlete and not just, like, let's be real, a piece of ass training with the guys. Like, I worked fucking hard for that. So I stay to myself. I go in the gym, I do my thing, and I leave right away. But it does, because the second you get a little friendly with someone, a guy specifically, they kind of tend to cross the line. So it's hard. It could be a little hard.
Yeah. So you think, you are pretty quiet in the gym. You are pretty to yourself. Is that part of it? You just don't want to open up any doors?
No, I just like, the way I like the gym for me, coach, or Santino.
Potato.
The gym is my work environment. So I'm not going in there to play games, even though it's here and there, we kind of goof around sometimes, but I'm there to work.
You're not there to socialize.
Exactly. That's not where I socialize. I'm there to work.
Not just in a woman athlete, in any athlete. Shut up, show up, and just train and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Like, I would prefer that than people actually staying and hanging out too much. I don't want people comfortable there. I want you to go, work, and get the hell out of there and go live life.
Like, when I'm in there, but the second we break one team, bye, I'm like, all right, and I'm out.
Now, how is it being, because you're Insta famous now, like, you've got social media, you're in the UFC. We've got a lot of guys that have fought in the UFC, and actually you're the third person I've coached for a UFC debut just in the last 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
That's crazy.
But you're different than the men in the sense that you're a woman. How is that? Do you get people messaging you all the time? Is it people always trying to, like, contact you? Is it, and not only just by, like, men being creepers, but do you have, like, women fans? Do you have people? How is that?
Yeah, I wish I had a lot more female fans, but again, this is a male sport, so a lot of my fans are male based.
Okay,
a lot of them. But the females that do support me, it's more of a fitness thing.
Okay.
They support the fitness aspect. They support, like, they're super supportive. Like, it kind of feels like woman empowerment, where these girls are, oh my God, like, I look up to you. You're like, you make me feel that I could go achieve my goals now. So it's definitely different from a female being a fan to a male. A male just wants to see me fight. You know, they love the game. They're in it, and they know the fights and whatnot. And the females, I feel like I'm getting sick in here. It's cold.
Yeah, it is cold in here.
But
next time we'll have a space heater.
I would appreciate that. No, but the females, it's definitely different.
Now, do you think a lot of guys? Do you find that a lot of guys follow you because you're an MMA fighter, or do you think they follow you because you're attractive and you're an MMA fighter, or just because you're attractive and they find you hot and so they just follow you that way?
I think it's all. Men are weird. I think it's all.
All the above?
Yeah.
But for all the creepers,
like A, B, C, D, all above.
Yeah,
that would be.
Yeah, I was telling Tracy earlier, actually, I've had people on my social media, women, you know, like posting about you with your fight coming up and buying your Live Fit, which is a Live Fit jacket.
Yeah,
that's one of your sponsors. Mm-hmm. And so you've got some Tracy Cortez Live Fit stuff. And I've never seen, like, when with fights coming up, I always post pictures, like with you, if you have a fight coming up with, you know, Camuela when he has a fight coming up with so-and-so. Yeah. And everyone, you know, usually get the good lucks, the this and that, likes, whatever. With you, I had people posting their ordered, you know, pictures of themselves with their Live Fit shirt, with your Cortez, Team Cortez, all women,
That's
all
cool.
super excited about that, which I've never seen before. I mean, people always support my fighters and people, but they supported my fighter, but they supported you, and they supported you financially by going out and actually buying stuff separate, which I didn't even know that they had done until I saw it posted on social media. And so I think you have a little bit. I think on social media, the creepers are gonna be there because
creepers
are everywhere, and guys are on social media, which means creepers are on social media. But I think you actually have a lot more women followers than you would think. They're just not creepers because they're women, and so they're not DMing you dick pics.
I don't get dick pics. I haven't got one. And I hope I don't get one.
Yeah, but stop. That is not an invitation. It's not.
Thank you.
Shit.
Come on, coach.
She actually has too many already, guys. She's
Tracy should have said that.
Yeah.
No.
Tracy, brace yourself.
It was nice. I didn't expect that kind of support either. I remember walking into the gym and members were wearing my shirt already, and I was like,
and this is before your fight or after your fight?
Before the fight.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh my God. And then I was getting picture DMs of people sitting at a bar, everybody wearing my shirt.
Really?
I was like, oh my God. That's
cool.
that was such a cool feeling. It really
you have support. You have a lot of support, which is nice because you also had a lot of haters.
Yeah.
Who...
Yeah.
Not haters, I would say like a lot, but you had some doubters. There was doubters.
I did have a lot of doubters until this last fight.
Yeah.
Now everybody loves me, and we always knew you can do it.
Yeah.
Didn't.
But so you have going back to just being a girl in the sport, this and that. Are you out of the sport? Are you a girl? Are you a tomboy? Do you dress up? I mean, you're wearing makeup now. We're talking about that. You're one of the more feminine women in this sport. I don't know. I would say one of the more. But you kind of have.
I'm definitely not a girly girl, but I don't consider myself a super guyish.
Okay. Tomboyish, guyish.
Yeah, like I like to look like a girl.
You mean you like to put 20-inch eyelashes on before your fight that get stuck in your eye mid-fight?
That is a necessity.
That was a thing.
Okay.
That was a thing. They were like pointed down.
No, and the referee or the cut man? They were like really there, and Tino was coaching me, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And he's like really doing like.
He's trying to like get her eyelashes.
I'm like, guy, and I just kind of like combed it up, and that was it. I'm like, oh my God.
He was trying to like comb her.
Or maybe he was trying to do you favors, like, hey girl, you got this eyelash out.
Yeah, let me help you out, right?
No, he was trying to get it out, but like in a nice. Not in a cut man, hey, I just have to get this eyelash out.
He
was
actually being really
like,
nice.
Put it up
and make it look presentable.
Yeah,
you know?
He was actually being really, I was like, oh, like he was like so gentle. I was like, dude, just.
Yeah, just shove it up there and go.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. You got to, I don't know.
So going back to like when you were talking about the people wearing your Live Fit shirt, you know, and how that kind of helped you. And you were talking about people reaching out and even helping you financially now. I think social media has been a huge part of that, right? Being able, helping you to network out with other people, helping brands contact you. Yeah. How has social media helped you in your overall life, and then specifically for MMA?
Social media is such a big platform right now where I think a lot of people aren't using it to its full potential. I mean, you could figure out what someone's doing, what they do for a living, who they're with, like their
where
job, anything, where they train. Like me, everyone knows I train at Fight Ready. Everyone knows Santino's my coach. Everyone knows I'm in the UFC. Like, you can find out so much on social media, and even on the stories, the whole swipe up. Like, I just posted and promoted the gear for Lift It because they're having a sale, and it's easy as someone swiping up and leaving your code information, and people use it. I get screenshots all the time. People are using it, yeah.
And because I started training you when you were still an amateur.
Yeah. And
I remember before your first fight, you had, I think, 2,000 Instagram, 3,000 Instagram followers, something like that. And we talked about like, hey, but this was, again, probably around 3 years ago. But you you worked at it, and we had the conversation with...
like, people made fun of me. I'll be at the gym like, yo, can you take a picture of me, please?
Yes.
And people will be like, oh, Tracy's so into herself. And it wasn't even like that. It was just, I was really trying to promote myself, and... Which
is smart. It's for business, and look how it's helped you over the years.
Yeah.
But it took a long time, and this was over 3 years. We talked and we said, hey, you need to, as a woman in MMA, you need to build a brand, you have to get on social media, you've got to do this stuff, and you did. And now you're one of the few people, even before you had your first UFC fight, you had 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
I looked at your Instagram the day of your UFC fight in the morning, and it was, I think, 101,000. And then like the next day it was up to like 129,000 or something like that. It was kind of nuts. How did people want to know, like, for people out there, you get people trying to build their, not only just humans, but fighters. Fighters want to know, like, how, because I coach a ton of fighters who have way more UFC fights than you and have they have 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they don't. How did you build your following? What did you do?
A lot of it has to do with how you represent yourself on social media. How you carry yourself. So say me at first, what I would post would be the dumbest shit ever. Family, me at the park with my niece or something, my dogs. Oh my God, a coffee mug, because I love cups. So I would post like just dumb things. And then I realized when we had that talk, okay, I need to focus my fan base if I'm gonna do this and I need to see what people want from me.
Okay.
And that could be with anybody. You as a coach, they want to see technical videos, right? Or they want to see your podcast or what you thought of certain fights. Me as a fighter, they want to see me train. They want to see me at the gym. They want to see me hitting hitting mitts.
Okay.
So I really had to figure out what to post, what not to post. There'll be times where I would post something, I'll do little test runs. Oh, let me see if people want to see me outside of the gym. Okay. And no, people really just want to see me as an athlete, and that's just what I stuck to.
Really? That's funny. I would have thought that especially on Instagram, that people wanted to see you outside of the gym, that they wanted to see pictures of you you do some photo shoot stuff and stuff like that. But do those not get as much attention and interactions than your gym stuff? They
do. It's a little like a little sauce of just something different,
Okay.
If I were to post something outside of the gym, but for the most part,
but you wouldn't switch and go all 90% outside of the gym and then go. Like, I'm not going to go and
post my meal.
Okay.
Or me like a selfie holding a Starbucks drink. Like, I'm not going to go and post that.
Okay. At least not on your page, maybe like your story.
Exactly. On my page, no, I wouldn't do that.
So on your page itself, so do people have to just find their niche, however you want to say it, and stick with that?
Yeah. Like if you like to brew coffee, make sure your page is about coffee. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you, I don't know, if you're a baseball player, you're gonna have your Instagram full of you at the courts or drilling or something. Same thing with anything else.
Okay.
If you're a photographer, your page is going to be full of just beautiful photos.
How often do you find, outside of just keeping stuff, I guess specific to your content, to your area? Like
I have, like you guys are going to make fun of me. Like I have a whole color theme. I have a whole okay, I posted two dark backgrounds. This one's going to be a lighter one.
Okay.
And I have a whole visual
so it's like aesthetically
idea.
Pleasing when people check out your page.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, that's.
So you want to mix up everything from colors to like light to dark and this and that. Why is that? Why do you think that?
It just looks good. People to see your Instagram, and If it's something that's everywhere, you're just like, like it's just not pleasing to the eye.
If everything looks the same, you just get lost in there and so you mix it up.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you look at your social media as like it's a representation of you? It's a representative of you, rather. So when people go and they check it out, you want it to look professional. You want it to look clean, which then reflects who you are.
Like you go to certain pages and you see, I don't know, this is just me using an example. Girls that don't smile in the photos. You're like, oh, she's probably a serious girl. You see my photos and I'm just smiling the whole time. You know, like a lot of my photos aren't me like serious. I can't be serious. I'm literally like having a big old cheesy smile almost in every photo.
Okay.
So I also want people to know, like, damn, she's enjoying what she's doing.
And that's part of your public persona. Not to say you never get sad or anything, but you're not going to post a picture that doesn't represent your how you interpret your public persona. Or how you
like people see my page, and I've gotten messages all the time. I get messages all the time saying, man, like you're so positive and this and that, and it's a lot of it are girls too, but it's not. And I respond to the girls like, no, it's not that I'm positive. It's just how you throw that energy out, it's gonna come back to you. So if people see them, I'm constantly throwing that positive energy. I'm hoping I get it back. And then I get those like, how do you not get sad or do you not get frustrated with life? And I respond like, hell yeah, I do.
Of course I do. Fuck. This is social media. This isn't real life.
Yeah,
it's
not
to air my dirty laundry.
Exactly.
And that's the thing people don't realize is that social media is what you allow other people to see.
Exactly.
It's not real life. Yeah. It's what you let people in on. Mm-hmm. And why would you let people in on a bunch of sad moments? Like that's just not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if that's your thing, maybe it's it's okay to be sad. It's if that's your social media site, your whatever, fine.
No, I don't think that just should. I just don't think that should be out there. Period.
That's just strange. Yeah. Now, do you have like a schedule on how often you post, or is it once a week? Do you do like?
I'm very picky with what I post. So if I don't have good content, I won't post a picture.
Okay.
Like if it's not good quality, I just won't post it.
You're just not doing it.
I'm not. I won't do it. On my story, I do post more frequently on my stories. That's just because it's stories that are gone in 24 hours. But for the most part, for me to post a picture, if I have great content, I would post at least 2 to 3 times a week. But if I don't have good content, I'm okay with not posting for 2 weeks straight. So
do you think that's a sweet spot, 2 or 3 times a week, or do you?
For me, maybe once a week, twice a week. It's probably the most I would post in a week.
Now, are stories bigger these days on, and for the most part, I think we're talking about Instagram because that's kind of the bigger social media thing.
People are kind of shocked. I mean, even the commentator was like, "How did you build your Instagram?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
I just did it.
I just post, yeah.
But Twitter's not that big. I think Twitter might be making a little bit of a comeback. For a while, it was kind of down. Yeah. And Facebook.
Twitter's lit. Oh my God.
Twitter's crazy. Twitter's crazy. But Facebook isn't that big of a deal, I don't think, right now. But I think Instagram is where the marketers are going. Followers, that's what they want to see. Now, Twitter, do you see, like, how many Twitter followers do you have?
A little over 13,000.
Okay. Now, what type of interactions do you see difference between Twitter and Instagram?
Twitter, people are more, they repost everything. Like, I get so many reposts. Facebook does too, though. Facebook, people show me a lot of love on Facebook, my fan page.
But
and
on Twitter, is Twitter crazy? Like, Twitter's a crazy social media. Like, those are the psychos. Not even psychos, but funny,
like, it's
shit.
entertaining.
They're entertaining.
Yeah.
Whereas Instagram's more tame. You get a little bit of trolls, but you have Twitter trolls. Yeah. Twitter,
actually, I don't know. Twitter's fun though. I'll be reading people's shit and I'm just at home laughing.
Now on Instagram, is it more, do you think stories are more important these days or posts?
For something short, say like the Black Friday sale, stories. But for me to, like a fight announcement, post.
Man, you need to put together like
a crash course.
Yeah, like a crash course on how to build your social media and like how to do it and this and that. Like that's something I think people would pay for because, I mean, people pay for likes. They pay for people to do this. They pay to learn this stuff.
I just found that out. So I'm not going to name drop anybody, but they're like, we had to pay this much. It was like $20-$30, but it boosted us up to like $200K. I was like, you paid for that? Yeah. I would never drop.
I remember I remember you had some people talking to you about some sponsorships.
I would never drop that kind of money for likes.
For like likes. Nope. not doing it.
With your Instagram, because you talked earlier about you kind of stick to yourself, right? Like at the gym.
Yeah.
Yet a lot of what you post is at the gym.
Yeah.
Do you find do you enjoy posting on social media? Is that something that you like to do? Being that in real life you kind of stick to yourself. Is that just an outlet for you, or does it feel like work and it's just something you want to make sure you stay on top of because it can help you in your career?
It's just work. It's just because I'm more than just the gym. I'm like when I'm training and I'm in camp. Yeah, gym is my life, but I like outside of the gym, I'm with my family all the time.
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Like, damn, I do post a lot of shit.
It's
at
kind
the
of
gym,
work.
Huh?
Yeah,
it's just my work. It's my
it's
job.
all kind of tied in.
It is tied in.
It's all part of business.
Yeah. Like my Instagram, I don't use it for personal use. Like it's all.
Yeah, I don't see anything. It's funny you say I'm always with my family outside of the gym because nobody would know that.
Yeah.
Because it's not on your Instagram. Yeah. So you hear stuff like that, but people would assume, you're always at the gym. You're always doing stuff with people at the gym, and that's pretty much it. Outside. So what do you do outside of the gym? Are you a MMA fan? Do you follow stuff? Like, what do you?
I don't know any sport. I don't
Really? You don't watch MMA either?
No, I watch fights, but there's like very few fighters that interest me that I'm just like, I want to go see this fight. This is a good fight.
Now, do you watch fights just as a social thing, or would you watch them and like, do you really follow fights? Like, if there's a fight on, you're watching it. Doesn't matter what's going on. You know all the people.
Upcoming fights.
Or is it just like
very little? Like, I don't get no. I mean, do I ever really get excited to watch a MMA fight? No, I don't. Really? I haven't in a long time. No.
Do you follow? Is there anybody that you actually follow? Like MMA wise, like follow their careers and are like, all right, this fight's coming up, I'm watching that, or just
like if you were to ask me, like, hey, do you know this fighter? I'll be, who? like I don't know.
So what do you do outside of the gym? Again, on Instagram, if people saw it, that's your entire life. Yeah. But it's really not. Yeah. What do you do outside the gym in normal time?
I'm always with my family. Like I'm always with
what does
Abraham
that mean? I mean, like
Junior.
Eating, like
like we go out to eat, we go to the movies. Okay. I third wheel a lot. I do with Abraham and his girl, or with Junior and his
Abraham's her brother.
Yeah, Abraham's my oldest brother. Or my niece. I always have my niece. She's always staying the night. She loves hanging out with me at my house. Then I have to go and entertain her. So
what? So you said you eat and watch movies. What movies are you watching? What's good? What have you seen these days?
There's no scary movies right now, but I love scary movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite scary movie?
It would have to be The Exorcist.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, the remake or the old one?
The old one.
The old one. That's scary as shit. I remember there's a part of that, if you're watching it, just like a devil face flashes for just one frame on there. And if you can freeze the frame, but you don't even realize it, and you're like, did I just see a devil face? And then you're like watching the rest of this. That'll freak you the hell out.
I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch that movie by myself because I do get scared.
No, I mean,
but any
better.
other scary movie I'll watch by myself.
In the middle of the day, maybe, like not at night.
Not even
with the lights off.
alone.
Like I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So going back to MMA real quick, just because we are running short on time.
Yeah.
What doors has MMA opened up for you? I heard that you're going to be presenting an event that's coming up soon.
Yeah,
I am. My manager called me saying if I'm open to going out to the DC card. What fight is that?
Washington, D.C. December 6th, 7th?
7th, December 7th. And they want me to present a check. I don't even know if I'm allowed to give many details.
Okay.
But I'm going to present a check to this organization, which is... it's a great organization. So
it's a charitable organization. I believe it's for cancer research.
Yeah.
Which this is a big deal.
Huge.
The UFC is grooming you. Like that's a big thing. Like they don't just fly out everyone and anyone. Yeah. You had your debut in the UFC 2 weeks ago, and now they're bringing you in. And I think it'll be during like a short intermission in between, like the prelims and the main card or something like that. It's kind of a big deal. What do you think of that?
Well, I actually just watched what they did right before my fight for the for Sao Paulo, and they really blended my story in with what's his name? Oh shit!
It's
I just had a brain fart.
You're talking about the ESPN host,
yes, correct? Yes.
It's Stuart Scott.
Stuart.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then they brought in his story, and he's like a legend on ESPN. So they want me just because, some of the backgrounds. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. Move with your family's background and stuff, which I'm not getting into today. your background.
You can hear all that. You can Google that.
Yeah, you can Google it. It's been, the Contender did a thing on it. UFC did a thing on it. I know Destin and Embeddeds are going to follow you at some point, and they're going to talk about your background, to, a lot.
Crazy story is, did you know, I had no idea Tino knew Jose?
Her older brother.
My oldest brother.
He did train with you for a little bit,
yes.
right?
Did he train with you?
He trained with me. He used to come in. And this
Isn't that crazy?
Even
That's
weirder
crazy.
story. I knew him because of Drew Fickett, because him and Drew Fickett were friends. And so Drew brought Jose in, and Jose would train with me, your oldest brother.
Yeah.
And then Jose brought in your older brothers, but your younger brothers, Junior and Abraham, when they were still in high school, like 8th, 9th grade.
I had to be in middle school then.
Yes. And then then I remember Jose was supposed to fight Drew, and I'm like, what? You guys were friends. You were in here like a month ago. Jose was in training and drilling. He's like, yeah, but men for honor. I mean, Drew's crazy. I mean, Drew, we love you, Drew, but you're batshit. And then... So that was just strange, but and then you didn't even know that I knew your older brother for like 2.5 years of me training you.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I was like, wait, what?
You're like, wait, what? You knew my brother? I'm like, I knew your brother.
Isn't that crazy how it just aligned?
Yeah, it's trippy. I do have one. We don't have to get into everything, but I do have one question because I saw on a social media page they had posted your post-fight interview with Michael Bisping. In the cage, and looking at some of those comments, there were a lot of people who were upset.
They were shitting on him.
Yeah, at Bisping for asking you
about Jose,
about your mom and brother. Yeah. Was that something that in the moment, did you take offense to that or? No,
I didn't. People were going in. They were going ham. But no, I didn't take no offense to it. It was it caught me by surprise. I was so emotional. I mean, Coach, after the fight, you saw me. The second I passed those curtains, I just broke down like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, just a sense of relief, just
all of it.
Just everything, every emotion you could think of, just I let it out. And Junior was there and he held me. Junior, my big brother, which he's next in the UFC, by the way. We're going to be the first siblings in the UFC.
Hey, there we go.
Done.
I believe it.
But I was just ready to let it out because I was holding on to it and just really trying to compose myself for the fight. So when everything ended, I was just like, and then I don't want to say that triggered it, but that definitely, I was like,
And for people who don't know, basically Bisping had asked you how you that moment felt and how you felt knowing that your mother and brother were watching, looking down on you during that moment.
Which that bothered me. I was sitting there and I'm like, come on, she just won a fight. Let her talk about the joy of winning a fight, not bringing up just an emotional moment that has been brought up. I'm sure they talked about it in the commentary. We talked about it in the Contender series. It was again and again. And then even after that, you of course, stuff will come out.
Yeah, which honestly, I don't mind it because the reason I worked so hard to get in the UFC and move up in the rankings is for my family.
Right.
And it goes back again to my mom wanting, believing in me and things like that. But that's why I do it, because I just want to, again, I want to make them proud. So I don't mind. I mean, I put my story out there, so people are going to ask me. So I don't mind when they ask. And then I got a big ass portrait of them on my arm.
Yeah.
But you're also a worker. Even if you're doing that, for your mom and your brother, and there's that, you're a workhorse. And there's something internal about that. I mean, like that, people don't realize like what weight cuts do to people.
Yeah.
And one of the first things when I got back from, first of all, even after the weight cut, Angel Cejudo, who's, one of her coaches as well, a wrestling coach, because I've told other people about your weight cut, it's hard, it's brutal. And I've never seen anybody push through like you have. And then Angel afterwards goes, holy shit. He goes, I have never seen anybody push through a weight cut like that before. He goes, I didn't think she was going to make it pounds ago.
Yeah.
And you didn't complain. You didn't moan, you didn't bitch, nothing. Just fucking trooped it through. And when I got to the gym, like 2 or 3 other people at the gym told me that Angel had told them like he's never seen anything like that before. So I mean, that's you can call on other people's strength from other people. But that comes from within you somewhere. Like that's some. Yeah. And in your fights, you've been in some bad.
I have been in a couple
bad situations, and you fight your ass off.
I don't know what it is, Coach. I don't. I don't fucking want to quit. I don't have it in me. I don't know how to quit. I don't know when to stop. You've seen it first, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I want people to know me as, though. I take pride in that shit. Like, I want people to know me, not like, oh, Tracy just a pretty girl fighter. No, like, Tracy's a fucking badass workaholic. Yeah. Like, that's what I want people to see me, you know, that, or to know when they see me, like, oh shit, she's a badass, you know, she's tough, or not even tough. She works hard.
Yeah.
She's got heart. She's a warrior.
You know.
Well, you work toward something, which is fighting and training. You want to be recognized for your gifts as fighting and training. Through, you know, if you're an artist and you make clay sculptures, you want somebody to go, that's a nice clay sculpture.
Yeah.
Like that's, you want to say like, hey, I work my ass off.
But again, me saying that comes from going back to, oh, I'm a female in a male sport.
Yeah. You think so? Does that piss you off? Does that drive you a little bit?
Do you feel like you have something to prove?
No, at first I did. At first I was constantly trying to prove that I deserved to fight. I don't know why. But, oh, well, you know, a lot of people didn't fucking believe in me, period.
A lot of people didn't.
A lot of
people that we know that, you know, just through MMA in the gym, just things they didn't.
That were putting me down as a fighter. And at first, I did feel like I had to prove myself. But now I'm like, fuck no. Like, I don't have to prove nobody's shit. You know, I'm 8-1?
Yeah. But see, I think,
UFC.
All right.
The other thing about that, too, is you had a hard road to the UFC. You didn't get... You see some of the, not everyone, and I definitely don't mean to put all the women down in the UFC, but some of the women have gotten to the UFC with less than stellar records, with 1-1 records, 0-1, 2-0.
Yeah.
And then they got on the Ultimate Fighter because either, for whatever reason, they have a niche or they're pretty or something, whereas you didn't get that treatment. You fought your ass off on a lot of these fights and really tooth and nail earned it. Yeah,
and I'm not shitting on these girls. Like, I think every girl, for every female or any person, male or female, to step in that, you know, in the cage, it's tough. Like, you really have to be emotionally, physically, mentally, like, ready. And so I give a lot of respect to anyone that goes in there. But it has been hard. I mean, you turned down like 4 fights, short notices up on me? And I was fucking pissed. I was like, you turned it down?
Yeah. I turned down, short notice fights. And you were on Dana White's Looking for a Fight.
Yeah.
You won in great fashion there. And he said that he liked you, but didn't want to sign you because you didn't have the experience
yet. It was too early. Yeah, he did.
He said it was too early. He said, when I sign you, I want to make you a superstar. Yeah. And then you had what? I think you were 3-1 then, and then it took you to 5 or 6-1 to get onto the Contender Series. Then you went on there, and then, you know, of course, you got signed.
Yeah, he told me I was too early in my career. I needed more time.
Which I'm glad he did. I think it was.
Looking back now, do you appreciate that, or do you wish you would have gotten the contract?
No, I do, because even now, I question everything. Like, oh shit, am I like fully prepared to be in the UFC? You know, and I am. It's just me wanting to improve more. But yeah, everything happens for a reason, and everything happens in its time when it should happen. So,
well, I think, Dana, thank you. You were right.
Yeah, Tracy, well put. Well, we have a few minutes left.
I can't wait for this.
Oh my God.
I can't wait for this.
Some Q&As.
Oh, I hate my laugh.
Q&As, you got some questions from the fans.
So we have to explain this
People want to know.
So beforehand, we said, Tracy, why don't you reach out to some of your social media and ask what questions they want to hear from you. And we got everything from some good questions to some weird stuff. And we're going to go through some of these and hear your thoughts on some of these questions from your social media.
I went on Twitter, which is at Tracy Cortez MMA.
And those of you who can't see this voice, this omnipresent, omniscient voice is Kamuela Kirk, our producer in the background, and he is going to read off the Jawaiian. Gotcha. He's going to read off some of these questions right now. So what do we got?
Okay, so first question is we'll kind of keep it, we'll work our way up, all right?
Let's keep it MMA first, and then,
We'll keep it MMA first.
Okay.
All right.
If I know these are going to be wild.
Rai Cahill, all right? If possible, who would your dream fight be and where would it be held?
Ooh, that's a good one. Who would my dream fight be? And where would it be held? Okay, I know where my dream fight. Who would it be, or where would it be?
Both.
The opponent and the location.
The opponent, I'm not too sure yet. Again, I'm not too familiar.
She's like, turns out I actually don't know a single female fighter's name.
Yeah.
All right, so where would it be?
But Mexico City.
Oh,
Mexico City.
nice.
So that leads in right into the next.
But let me explain why though, because my family would be able to go physically see me for the. I mean, in my whole career, I've only had Abraham Jr. in my corner. Okay. Or not literally in my corner, but to come support me. Yeah, because we're the only ones here in the States. So to have my whole family from Mexico, Irapuato, to come to Mexico City, like, that would be a dream come true.
I think that answers the next question then by Novacon, which is where do your Mexican roots come from? Which part of Mexico?
Irapuato, Guanajuato.
All right, so explain that to, I'm white as shit. Where is that? What part of Mexico is that?
So far. So, do you know where the F? Mexico? El DF? No. Anyway, it's literally like I could be wrong, maybe 5 hours, but it's deep south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a beautiful city. Yeah, but it's a beautiful city.
All right. In spirit of the holidays.
It's a city. It's not like a rancho. It's a city.
A real legit city.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
All right. So with Thanksgiving right around the corner, what's your favorite? This is from wrestling _1000. What is your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh.
I got two. That I just can't pick. Smashed potatoes.
Okay.
Love smashed potatoes. And
are those different from mashed potatoes?
See, I keep getting corrected. Like mashed potatoes are smashed. I say them smashed, but yeah, coach. And then turkey stuffing.
Oh, I love stuffing. I love stuffing.
I do too.
All right. This is from I Stay on Mars. What is your personal goal in the UFC for the next 2 years?
This year, for the year 2020, I plan on moving up in the rankings. I'm going to move up in the rankings. And whenever we're ready and whenever coach says that I'm ready, hopefully get a title shot.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, next one by Smooth Wacko 87. Who would win? Smooth Wacko.
Oh my god!
And these are Twitter accounts, right?
These are Twitter accounts,
of course, because only on Twitter do you have Smooth Wacko.
Who would win in a fight, Godzilla or a Godzilla-sized version of yourself?
Oh shit!
And why? So if you were to fight Godzilla and you were the size of Godzilla, how would you win?
What the this is an actual question.
Classic Smooth Wacko 87.
Wow. My size Godzilla would win.
How?
I'll smash him.
Like a potato I eat for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right, and last question. In my opinion, the most important question. This is from Taco Jet.
Taco Jet.
Taco Jet. Does a straw have one or two holes?
Stop it.
That's the question.
Coach, does a straw have
I think it has two. Yeah, it has two openings.
But it would be one hole, right? Because you have the one. It's just one hole that goes all the way through.
My opinion, I think it has two openings, but one hole.
One hole, right? I mean, I guess a hole.
It has one hole, but I don't know why my brain is telling me I want to say it has two.
Yeah, like we need to look up the definition.
Hey Siri, what is the definition of a hole?
Which word? H?
Hole.
As a noun, it means a hollow place on a solid body or surface. Do you want to hear the next
hollow
one?
place.
I guess
it would be one hole with two openings.
But yes, because not all holes go all the way through, but you wouldn't not consider that a hole. Like if it's a snake hole or something in the ground, it might go down, but it might only have the one opening.
Yeah.
So then,
but it might go all the way through, but it would still be the same hole.
I feel like you had this converstion before.
Maybe
I feel like we're getting bamboozled. This is our first time here.
Like, turns out I'm Taco Jet. Okay, so are we gonna go one hole, two openings then? Is that your final answer?
One hole, two openings.
One hole, two openings. I can get behind that.
I'm probably gonna ask that to somebody today too.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I think that's about all the time.
All right, so those are the questions.
Thank you for joining Tracy's World. I'm just kidding.
She's taking over. All right, so next week on Tracy's World, who are you going to have on as your first guest?
The Joanne.
Hey. This time I'll be in front of the camera?
Yeah. I'm now the producer behind the camera. The picture changes.
Santino got demoted hardcore. This went from being his show to now he's the producer.
The following week, I'm not even in here.
Yeah. Slowly start.
Turns out it's your picture on the wall next episode.
Right.
Sharpie. All right, well, thanks for coming in. As always, like, subscribe, share. We are also, not only are we on YouTube, we're also on podcast, just full audio on iTunes, Google, and every other directory that has a podcast. Spotify. Every other directory come with it includes Spotify. So every includes all. Other than that, we'll see you next time.
Bye.